Let's hear it for the following sponsors.
Type shit. This intro is really good, bro. I need him to make like an animated show about this story, bro. Like, why not? Like with this style. Like everyone looks so good here. Look at this aura farmer. Watch the aura farming, bro. Watch. Everyone else is like ready to fight. Look at the aura farmer. Just dancing up. Like the aura farming is crazy. Like, just walking up, looking smug in the camera. Like, bro, like. So is that guy a prison inmate? Wait, what? Why is he dressed like that? I just realized. Wait, why is he dressed like that? Huh.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimax.
Type shit. What? Okay. Again, I don't know anything about that character, but like, you know. Okay, yeah, so we've done Narukami, Kanji, and Naoto. And now today we're doing Aegis.
Alright. Are you awake?
I'm sorry. I had turned off my consciousness to test the new equipment installed on me.
Yes, that's why we use the emergency channel. We've been asked to go into action.
Is that Narukami?
Has something happened? Who sent the request?
We'll brief you on the details in transit.
I'm pretty sure it's just like the actor, but like, you know.
Also, regulations say that the member with the lowest serial number is in command. Currently, that's you.
I'm in command? Are you sure about this? After all, I'm...
You're well suited for it, in my opinion.
Understood.
Johnny Young Bush getting paid type shit. May 1st, 2012, 9:30. How many Ichigos are there? Regular Ichigo, Bankai Ichigo, White Ichigo, Fullbring Ichigo, Dangai Ichigo, Vasto Lord Ichigo, True Shikai Ichigo. About like 7. About 7 Ichigos, you know. Men equipped with assault suits and tactical vests lying in the concrete ground. Their urban camouflage and unmoving poses give them the appearance of an orderly line of rocks. 30 minutes have passed since the special assault teams took up their positions on the landing strip surrounding the stopped passenger plane. It's taking my phone off charge. The captain glares at the plane before he slowly turns around and looks at each of his men. Every last one wears ski masks and thick tactical visors to mask their identities, but he knows them nonetheless.
Tell me about the situation and make it quick. We don't have much time.
One of his team members steps forward. The touchscreen tablet in his right hand has a summary of the case on it. On May 1st, 2012, around 900 hours, a wide-body passenger aircraft headed for Kagoshima sent out a 7500 sport code during passenger boarding. Following the signal, the captain reported to the control tower that their aircraft had been hijacked. Since the uprising occurred during passenger boarding, only half of the passengers, 168 exactly, had boarded. The 10 crew members brings a total of 178 hostages thought to be on board. Some passengers seated near the hatch had succeeded in escaping. The following points were gained from questioning them. Take care not to be seen by the hijackers. There are 3 hijackers, all of them are covering their faces with ski masks. All of them are armed with what seems to be pistols. From their voices and builds, they appear to be males. They all spoke fluent Japanese. Currently, the aircraft in question has moved to the front of the landing strip at the hijackers' insistence and is stopped there. The authorities have attempted to negotiate with the hijackers by radio, but they have made no demands. The team member finishes his report. The captain nods silently and addresses
There
it.
hasn't been a plane hijacked in this country in over 10 years. None of us, not even me, have dealt with this before.
Really? Huh.
Still, the procedure remains the same. Trust yourself, remember your training, and keep a cool head.
The captain turns towards the plane again. Taking that as a cue, the team scatters to their specified posts to take up positions. Bro, I love how like unserious Kanji's was compared to like the super serious start that like Naoto and Aegis get. The only thing to do now is to see what happens. Eventually, 10 a.m. comes around. Half an hour has passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. The worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
The captain mutters to himself deep in thought. From the perspective of rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning the hijackers' objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team could wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can easily lead to physical and mental problems. It's true not only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare as the time ticked by. Damn, we getting tactical with this one. I like how Naoto's story has the setup of her meeting the Shadow Arts, but Aegis starts writing the hijack. It's interesting when they like when they yeah, I do find it interesting how they like pick and choose where stories take place and like how they kind of interweave with each other. Like how in Narukami's story we hear about like I believe we hear about something that happened in Naoto's story or something like that. I don't remember specifics, but you know, stuff like that is cool. After 15 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through stations near the airport are being checked. But at the moment, no messages are thought to have been sent from the inside plane. It appears that the hijackers have confiscated all cellular phones as per standard hijacking plans.
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are 2 possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or a passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to remove them entirely from play. And the more hostages there are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages involved means all the more dangerous to provoke the hijack. It means it's all the more dangerous to provoke them. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. The details of the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team had assumed. The cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. Damn, I've never flown. Bro, I only fly in economy, bro. And economy is shit. The cell phone, he signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It's a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
His life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. Aww. Ryanair economy class gang be flying the worst kind of way. I've heard about Ryanair and how bad they are. I've never flown with them. But because only half the passengers had boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. W no legroom. Bro, sleeping on a plane is impossible. I can't do it. Though if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within the hour. A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision. That same day at 10:30.
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking. What are you thinking withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but limbs whose power is best put to use by precisely following orders. Just then, another group approaches without a sound. Its members are dressed differently, in suits and trench coats, but all of them are wearing black and sunglasses. At a glance, it's clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they're imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're in the same line of work and
Who are
approaches.
you?
His voice is laced with suspicion, but the man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately, as if he heard
For
nothing.
the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
The captain's tone unconsciously hardens. The group of men in black parts, and one of the number in the rear steps forward. The captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst the team who watches in silence. The one stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her, but her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few more steps forward and removes her sunglasses. Wait, hold on. Wait, whoa, I'm confused. I thought we were reading this from her perspective. We're not? Oh. I thought we were reading this from Aegis's perspective. Okay, interesting. I did not know that. Okay. How did she get past security? How did she get past TSA? Bro, I know she hates seeing a metal detector, bro. The captain had intended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gasps in the face of her crystalline blue. W glaze. Yeah, it's a cool suit. This is a cool look. He quickly regains himself and frowns.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes,
Are you shitting me?
there is no time to waste quarreling.
Damn. The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. So who's narrating right now? The absurdity of it all is what helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She's clearly no
Are
ordinary
you
girl.
not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. The captain closes the distance to her girl, and while he stops short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger.
Type shit.
Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl is completely unruffled as she speaks. It's like she's a machine or something, the captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. After looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch.
But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair car to the group she's leading. The captain's fist tightens nervously. Since there are a few uses for a stair car, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think their strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. but there's no hesitation to the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a ruthless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger plane.
Closest we can get without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough. What's the point of half-assing it like that? The captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. If she's replacing the SAT, then she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but...
Now, let's begin.
The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks slightly behind the vehicle, turns towards the passenger plane, and squats down.
What's she doing?
The captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she'll do. At first, he assumes she's going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy and set her team in from a different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have a significant blind spot above it and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Does she plan to make her move while using the stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe her? The captain discards the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a lower angle of elevation where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly one moment, and the next moment she's no longer in sight. By the time the captains realize she's missing, she's already reached the top of the stair car. Her slender body launches like a cannonball from the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Tough. Aura. That's Aura. Oh. Even the SAT members voiced their surprise. The girl's leap arcs a distance of over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of a hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. She looks at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. Now that I think about it, how do the Shadow Ops pass TSA with their evokers? I don't know. I have no idea. It's a good question. Did they carry them with them? I don't know. It reminds the captain of the movement of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if she can see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch at the front, she moves her hand to her back. The captain notices that a special knife coated gray from blade to hilt is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
Considering how illegal guns are in Japan, that's a really good question. Bro, I love how like the Persona 3 cast like grew up and just became like flipping like Men in Black. Like, it's crazy. The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the side of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jam of the hatch and dangles from
This
it.
is crazy.
Even the Phantom Thieves had trouble lugging around their guns. Bro, C's do it different, I guess. She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and locks the hatch with ease. And once the thick, airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own. The captain lowers the binoculars and faces the reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubts he had dismissed rise within him again. Seems like a pretty empty plane. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people there notice it at once. One of them is the captain, sitting in the pilot's seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what it means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. He prepares himself for someone to charge through it. But he quickly regains composure and turns the gun back on the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain. He cautiously cracks open the door and looks towards the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section, but the passengers were gathered in economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. To ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming into the darkened plane from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining in that's unlike the regular ones. And within that light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. 2 quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around in surprise to see the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. Damn, okay. She first lays the man on the ground, then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it's only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. The seam between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. If taken apart, the disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arms to his seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he'll be unable to stand. Though the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes meet his and insist on silence as she leaves. Damn. Hey, take care, Gregory. The curtain dividing first class and economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind and peeks through. There's a man in each of the aisles on the left and right. Neither seems to have noticed her. The passenger and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her heart sensor picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. She judges that he can easily be disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but are the same type as the downed hijacker. From what she can see, these two are mere model guns. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. The hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl, stops for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With a pained cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground, then smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks him onto a passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he's no better than a worm writhing on the ground. The last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. Alright. OBS tweaking, but we back now. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, as I was saying, right? I felt the same way about, like, you see the section in Naoto's story where you see the part in Naoto's story when she was at the airport and she was tailing the like a vehicle. I feel like that should have been animated. And now I feel like this, like, I guess infiltrating and taking out the hijackers should have been animated as well. But whatever. Is what is. The man tries to shield his face, but he's too late. He groans in pain where the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let the opportunity pass. She easily jumps over the 3-seat wide sensor block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. There she repeats the same procedure she used before. Their weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. The passengers are only now grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus arises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
The passengers erupt in a cheer. There's a sporadic applause as well, but there is a slightly hysterical tinge to it, in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness.
I guess my goat, bro. I guess really is like doing this shit, bro. Probably not enough budget, you know? Probably, because I imagine the animated cutscenes probably take the most work or something. I would imagine. Original P4A had even less budget than Ultimax, and the story mode is from the original P4A. So are you saying when we get to the Ultimax section, we're gonna see more animated cutscenes? Is that what you're saying?
His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger standing up from his seat. He's extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity. All of the other passengers are nervous. It is then that she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head. She knows without looking it's the muzzle of a gun. The nearby passengers' cries of relief suddenly turn to
I am
screams.
impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Bro, that's Aura. What? That's Aura. What? The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent and keeps the pistol pressed to her head. She knows there's no danger of being shot, but she's not yet sure that he was the only one in hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes to his demands and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up as it's... Bro, they call her Wygis, bro. She could have just started aura farming and just take out the guy instantly, but she wanted to make sure to see if there's any others around. Bro, IQ, bro. Oh my gosh. Bro, C's do it different, I'm telling you, bro.
Ah, and you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from the front and back. At that moment, footsteps sound and beyond the curtain leading into first class. The two culprits both react at once, but it's too late. Over 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl had drawn the hijacker's attention from the scuffle, the stair car had closed in. First, they pinned down the man standing in front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but it doesn't last long. The moment he lowers the hand gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the men who burst into the scene that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He is immediately tripped and restrained once he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there were any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand. But no one rises from their seat. She glances towards the men in black and they nod back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face and gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper team gives a report confirming that the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. She stands on the stair car and turns on a blue designator light, waving it in circles towards the SAT's position. It's a signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SAT on standby starts talking amongst
It
themselves.
hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
What did I say? What did I say, bro? They're literally just Men in Black, bro. Like, bro, oh my gosh. You said P4A featuring Will Smith? Nah, actually, bro. Oh my, bro, it literally is. I'm so glad he said that. I'm so glad he said
Who are
that.
those people? Is that one even human?
Captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor. But I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation.
Bro, this isn't the first time they've shown this picture, but that is so much aura, bro. That is so much aura, bro. Mitsuru, I didn't know you were an aura farmer, you know? I didn't take you for that. I did not take you for that.
Cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police too. Though it's all some private enterprise, so technically there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department, keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
They're all Men in Black, like the P3 cast, I mean. I guess it's only Mitsuru, Aegis, and Akihiko. Yukari and the rest I don't think are. I don't think so. I think it's just those 3. He turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them. Her team may have shamed them though, had they done nothing wrong. I should apologize to them later, but then. Out the corner of the girl's eyes, near the entrance to the luggage carts at the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
Wait, what? Wait, that's Labris. Wasn't that had Junpei? Wait, wasn't that Junpei in the hat in the shadowy picture? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, the only silhouette that actually looked like a character I know was Mitsuru. So I don't know if the other characters are supposed to be people we know or not. The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the heightened security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed, yet the figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
But during the moment she looks away, the figure
She's not
disappears.
there. That can't be.
The girl looks around, but the figure's nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in this open space with nowhere to hide?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. That light blue dress the figure wore. It was very similar to the one she herself had once. It reminds her of those days when she did not yet have a heart. W schizophrenia? The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. The mission does not end with taking the culprits into custody. In truth, along with defusing the situation, securing the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. This fact was not revealed to the SAT. The passenger was originally seated in first class but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully through the restless passengers. It's not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks towards the passenger in
Are
question.
you alright, Mitsuru-san?
I guess. I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
The woman who answers has long shining hair that would make an impression on anyone. Even sitting quietly in her seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But Aigis knows the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this.
Zero, you gonna play the new Bleach game when it comes out? Yeah. What, Rebirth of Souls? Yeah.
The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked. Especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public. Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing. And they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things. Though if I'm right, it's already too late.
So Aigis the de facto big guns. I mean, she kind of has to be because she is quite literally a walking, talking weapon. So it's like, you know. Huh. Interesting. In response, Aigis instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo has been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over. But I was carrying something sensitive this time. Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility security or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. Aigis can tell that she's impressed with their audacity despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments. This incident will surely go down in history.
Wait, what? Wait, no, I don't think that's what she's talking about, bro. What? Mitsuru's eyes bulge at the unexpected comment.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way. Besides, my underwear is in this bag and that's it. Enough about underwear.
She forces a cough and steers the conversation back on track.
Accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research.
Good to know that Aigis is still the same, I guess.
My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Aigis have many bitter memories associated with the name. A pool that hangs in the air. What? A radio transmission from one of Aegis' teams cuts the moment short.
Aegis speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aegis questioningly and she
It's as you
nods.
suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her
We
seat.
must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aegis inspects Mitsuru's face
Will you
carefully.
be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Mitsuru sighs with some exhaustion. Aegis interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests the vacation was neither relaxing nor
But
cheerful.
I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
Aegis answers loudly and snaps off the police salute that she's finally gotten the hang of. I am Aegis. Okay, there we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It took that long for us to get, like, her narrating it? So who was that before? Whatever. I don't think it's actually meant to be anyone in particular. I am Aegis. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. As my name implies, I am not human. I'm a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Yo, where... Has this been said before, by the way? Where does the name Aegis actually come from? Or does it like... Or is that just a name? There's no deeper meaning to it. Like... Where does the name Aegis actually come from? I don't know if I've ever actually asked that before. Remember how long Act 1 of Naruto's story was? True. That is fair. Naruto was like the biggest shock to me. I was like, okay, wait. This is taking forever. Labris is also a weapon? Yeah. Don't let Trunks near her. Yo, how would the conversation go if Trunks and Aegis met, bro? I feel like it would be fine. I don't think anything would actually happen. I think Trunks would like be on edge at the start because he'd be like, oh, an android. But I think he'd quickly tell and be like, nah, she's a friendly. So I don't think anything would actually happen. I'm a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. Trunks is racist, that's on site. Remember when he was talking to a 16? Why would anyone want to be friends with your kind? Whoa, Trunks, what do you mean by that? I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. They are called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with the special power of personas. One's persona is said to be the power to wield the shadows within. There are two sides of the same coin. Though one cannot have a persona if they do not also have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona and a body close to that of a human, so that my mind could maintain a personality, a heart designed for battle, a body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose, but I now have a place where I belong, somewhere I can make a full beneficial use of my powers. That is the Security Department Shadow Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives. The Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. She is the scion of my creators, the Kirijo Group, as well as the ones who have been given a full responsibility for handling the shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All of our members are Persona users or have similar qualifications. During operations, our guidelines state that the member within the smallest number has command. The number that I was issued was number 5. Though I am not human, I'm treated as a member and not a piece of equipment. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command for dangerous operations. In other words, I'm recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with results. There is another reason I'm working my hardest on this case. Soon after the hijacking was resolved, the stolen cargo was identified. Its content surprised me. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit named Labris. She is one of my sister units. She was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with the other artifacts ever since. Labris, a humanoid weapon just like me. Is it possible? It is possible that she has a heart. And if she does, I want to save her before she's misused. Wait. Hold on. If Labris is the 5th generation one and Aegis is the 7th generation one, what happened to the 6th generation one? If Makoto were around, he'd probably be 0. I like the way that's set up. Ah, probably, yeah. I mean, you know, whatever. It's just the way it is. You know, we can't be babies about it. What happened, you know. It is what it is. This is a mission, yes, but more than that, I feel that it's a duty I must carry out. Okay, I can't lie though. Do you guys think that Makoto would have joined the Shadow Operatives though as like a job? Because I actually don't think so. I actually don't think he would, you know. The next day, May 2nd, 2012. We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labris as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Like, it's weird because it's like, I feel like the main characters don't it's... I'm talking about like Narukami and Makoto, right? It's weird because it's like we don't know where they would end up profession-wise. Because they're kind of too plain, you know? And obviously, I mean, if we're talking about story-wise, I mean, Narukami's story continues, so he doesn't have time to do anything. And Makoto, I mean, pretty obvious reason why we don't have anything to say there. There's a pretty obvious reason why we don't know what he would do. But, you know, it'd probably be a side or off thing, honorary member. Oh, yeah, true. He'd probably be like, oh, if we need big help, we'll ask him. That's probably how it would go, yeah. I imagine so. Because I can't see him really joining that as like a full-time job. I can't really see that, bro. I don't think that's him. We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labris as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it's difficult to set up large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly and we get a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters were moved to a police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo Research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Hidachi Light. Another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to Mitsuru.
Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
I find it cool that they know about it. Because, like, why wouldn't you be aware of that? It seems the culprit in this case had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that's true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone's trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all
Let's
costs.
talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. I guess, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister. My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate. So she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment.
Yeah, like a big axe.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swaps her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an ace.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods his assent and returns to his station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
Frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labris. Of course, we'll strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labris. Destroying a sister unit. It will be a painful experience if she too has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
I mean, I assume it'll be fine, because I mean, it's, you know, it'd be pretty dark if the story ends with Labris dying or something. Then again, it is a spin-off. So it's like, well, it's a canon spin-off, but it's still a spin-off, right? So like, they could get away with killing Labris. They could. I just don't think they will, if I'm being honest. I don't think so. May 3rd, 2012. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru-san and I go over last-minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru-san's absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she's holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister?
Mitsuru-san's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts
Will
are.
we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority. The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. I hope that Labris will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made and our limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. Damn, good luck guys. Not really the greatest of areas. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a Midtown street. Though it's called Midtown, it's very different from an urban environment. It's quite rustic. It's a quiet rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. Can I speak? Damn, bro. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is luckily for us still active. By the way, remember I did tell you that I read this stuff through like a smaller tab because I've only got one monitor because I don't have space for a second one. When I move I will, but for now I still only use one monitor, right? So reading this stuff is a lot more difficult than it seems, okay? Like, I'm not looking at it as like clearly as you guys are. But the vehicle has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, you must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened last year. Though this was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru-san orders the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. Our vehicle's a long black 8-door limousine. Okay, rich. Okay, rich. What? It will stand out in this countryside town no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
She said yes, as if she already knows where she's going with it.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
Why'd you pick this dumbass car?
No.
No. No, that's funny as hell. Nah, that is funny, bro. No. Oh, bro, I missed this cost, bro. Oh, I missed you guys, bro. No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, people peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks like a site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of the town. This is even funnier because like we already played the Naoto story, and we saw Naoto's reaction to the car as like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, and now we know they just got given the car and just had to deal with it. Like,
Our contact has arrived.
that's actually quite funny. I then noticed a middle-aged man in a grey suit standing outside the window. I recognize his face. He's one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly, something not unlike exasperation or disappointment appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
A cough
I
interrupts
appreciate
us.
your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Why would you just snitch like that? Why, bro? What are you dumb? Mitsuru-san gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer at a nearby police box. He believed our intentions were good and supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he always acted on belief of what he believed to be just. He said this many times whilst putting us in secret. Strong ass chin as well. He's a strong man who always acts on his beliefs. But now our organization has official government sanction. He can now cooperate with us without being considered a dissident. In fact, now that Kurosawa-san's prior actions are justified, he's been promoted for his expertise. Ah, trust the process. What the hell? Trust the process. Oh, it's a job, bro. I've heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working at the Central Precinct. What are
Long
these
time no
words?
see, miss. And I guess, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Kurosawa-san fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It's faintly awkward. We are both dressed for combat, and I'm not wearing any clothes to cover my true form.
Sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
Precinct.
It's all right. It would have caused more of a headache
What does that
if
mean?
you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I can't help but
Seeing
smile.
you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Ah, sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
I mean, you didn't really say that much. Mitsuru asked Kurosawa to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in his town last year. Oh, did you have like an aura scanner? Because I think the aura would have been off the charts in certain sections, I ain't gonna lie. When background investigations were carried out across Japan at the end of 2011, this region showed high readings of shadow activity. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something happened that was just too hard to detect? Mitsuru-san detects the serial murder case was related to these shadows and asks Kurosawa-san to have the local police force share their reports. With could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in the investigation records. There are limits to what an unofficial unit close by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gazes with Mitsuru.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
Imagine this getting a remake. I mean... Oh, it's just an area under police control? I see. I mean... I don't know if it needs one, you know? I don't think this game needs a remake, to be honest. I think they could do like a Persona 5 arena. You know what I mean? They can just like make up a new story and just include the 5 people. You know what I mean? They can do that. But I don't really see this game doesn't need a remake. It still looks good. You know what I mean? It's available on modern platforms. Like, it has no reason to be remade. My only thing is like Arc System Works would have to be the one to make a Persona 5 arena. And my question is, would they do it? Because they seem to only want to be focused on Guilty Gear right now. So that makes it a little bit weird. I don't know what their intentions are going to be. They haven't made a game for a long time now. So a lot of people are thinking, yo, they're clearly cooking up something. Now, whether that's Persona 5 Arena, I don't know. I would love for it to be a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 or like a Super DBFZ, whatever. But I doubt that, especially with Sparking Zero coming out now. So my guess is that it's less likely to be Dragon Ball related, which is okay, whatever. So that means, okay, maybe Persona. But then my question would be, didn't Persona 5 come out a very long time ago? That's an old game by now. What's the point in doing a P5 arena now when you could have done it before? Because this is an old game too. Persona 5 is an old game, and Arena Ultimax are old games too now. So my question is, what the hell would be the point in doing 5 Arena now? Because it feels like you missed the boat on it. Sorry, I sneezed. Like, I genuinely, like, I have no idea like what the thought process would be there. It feels like you missed the boat on it. I mean, they did start plugging OG fighters and GG Strive is slowing down. I don't know, like ever since Strive came out, it's like that seems to be their main focus for a very long time. So it's like, I don't know. I really don't know. Hoping from the bottom of my soul it happens with an eventual P6 cast. You know what the issue with that is? I feel like by then there's too many people involved. Because you have to understand, for a fighting game cast, like you can't have that many people, especially day one, you know? So like, you have the people from 3, you have the people from 4, you can add the people from 5, but then I think that's as far as you can go. You know what I mean? Adding 5 and 6 would be like, okay, we're gonna have to start cutting people, you know what I mean? And you guys already know how people get upset with fighting game costs cutting people. When DBFZ was coming out, DBFZ actually has a pretty big roster starting out for a fighting game, because they knew Dragon Ball fans would complain, so they had to work extra hard for them and actually made a pretty good starting roster. However, people were still upset with it, if you remember looking back. People were like, oh bro, there's no Broly? There's no Bardock? Now, eventually those two would end up being the first DLC characters for the game. So, you know, they were on the ball with it. But, you know, people were like, wait, you dropped a Dragon Ball game with no fusions? Like, no Gogeta, no Vegito. Yeah, there's Gotenks, but what? There's no Goten and Trunks, though? You know what I mean? Like, people were really annoyed about it. So it's like, they can't really do an arena game with a Persona 6 cast. I feel like they have to do it with 5. Because that's just a natural evolution of things. And it's more manageable. Because then no matter what, you're asking for them to cut people. The longer you wait and the more people you want from newer stuff, you're basically also saying that you're okay with cutting down from people from before. You know what I mean? So like that's just how I see it. Cause I can guarantee, without spoiling things, right? Just answer yes or no to this question. Did Ultimax, when it came out, include characters that were cut from this game? Arena. Just answer yes or no to that. That way we can that way I can get my answer without being spoiled. Did Ultimax include characters that people wanted in Arena that were cut? Because if it did, then that just means I'm 100% correct. Yes, okay, there you go. Yeah, there we go. There's your answer. You're basically just asking for that to happen again. And I don't know if people are going to be happy about that. Especially, and it's even easier to do that now because of how prevalent DLC is. Especially with fighting games, so we get season passes with characters getting rolled out. You're basically asking for like your favorites to be DLC. Because they know you're going to pay for that. There's a reason Gogeta and Vegito weren't in Fighters at the start. It's because they knew you were going to pay for that. And we all did. The thing is, P5 Sparking already serves as a sequel story, so I don't know how the story would work narratively. I mean, you just make up a new scenario, that's all. That's literally all it is. I don't think there needs to be too much effort done in order for the story to make sense. You just gotta be like, yo, the Persona 5 cast got into another situation, but then this situation is very serious, so the P3 people get involved. Or, you know what? Here's the easiest way to do it. Have the Persona 5 cast visit Inaba or something. So there we go. That's how you get Persona 4 in, because let's be real, the Persona 4 cast, they're not really gonna go nowhere. They have no reason to move anywhere, you know what I mean? Maybe Persona 5 cast goes on holiday to Inaba or something. Stuff starts tweaking out. The Midnight channel does something again, you know what I mean? Inaba is a trash ass area, so it's very easy for us to be... It's easy for us as the audience to believe that something happened again, because things keep happening here, you know what I mean? So it's a cheap answer, but it's like, come on, let's be honest, we would all believe that. Persona 5 goes on holiday to Inaba, something happens. Yeah, I would be surprised if nothing happened, you know what I mean? And then let's say things got really serious, and like, so the Shadow Operatives have to get involved. There you go, Persona 3 is involved too. That way, 3, 4, and 5 are all there. They're all in the same place at the same time. You can have your fighting game, you know? And there we go, that was literally just made up on the spot, in my head, just right there. And I didn't put no effort into that, you know? That's literally all it is. Also, holiday in quotations is hilarious, yeah. More like a punishment, I don't know. P5 strikers all around Japan. There you go. That means that there's a precedent for these guys going on holiday. So, you know, there you go. P5 cast are from Tokyo. You think they're willing to go to a bum-ass town? I mean, come on now. All you gotta do is be like, you really don't need to think too hard about it. Like, they don't need to come up with much of a reason for them to go. You know what I mean? You could do something cool, like Joker meets Narukami, like on his way to the bus stop or something. I don't know. Like he gets out of his vehicle or something. Like he drops his phone or something. Narukami picks it up. Beginning of the game, he's like, "Yo, is this yours, gang? Appreciate that, twin." And then they go their separate ways, and then they meet up later and be like, "Damn, you use Persona? Yeah, you do too. Say less." You know what I mean? Like, it's that simple. Like, I promise you, fighting game stories, you don't need to do too much. I'll be real. It doesn't take much effort to get these people in the same place at the same time. You know what I mean? And yeah, people told me about the Nanako like being a Persona 5 thing. Like people told me about that. Nah, cause makes me think how Persona Q3 will be like after P6, of course. I mean, the more characters you introduce, the harder and harder it becomes to do things like this. Like, I'm gonna tell you that. The more and more people you have, the more difficult it is to create ensemble casts like this, where we do like the Avengers Infinity War Endgame thing, where we have all our characters coming together. You only make it more difficult. Because then it's like a million people fighting for screen time. And you know how these casts work. Like, everyone's got their favorite character, right? So your favorite character like might get the short end of the stick when it comes to the narrative. And or screen time. You know what I mean? Like, it can really go either way.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently, the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
Are you talking about Adachi?
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Dojima, bro, I love how that, bro. I love how that bigging up Dojima, bro. Unk indeed. Kurosawa-san's size. He seems to be
That's all
tired.
I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days.
Also, I love how like Dojima got credit for catching him. I like that, bro.
It's
He
funny,
deserves
though.
it.
I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes.
Bro, why she getting made fun of for this car so much?
If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
I bet Mitsuru was like, alright, cool, bro, get out there. To say something about my car one more time, bro. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
That's funny.
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
Mitsuru catching strays for a car she didn't even pick. Bro, she's been made fun of by this car to her face and from other people's opinions too. Like, even Naoto was like, bro, what is that car? What? Hearing this makes me realize something. Although I called it a vehicle disposal site, looking around, I can now see there are also household electronics, like refrigerators discarded here as well. In a corner is a stack of
There is a
TVs.
discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle. And
Wait,
here we go.
Icus.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
I extend my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. Okay, see, this is cool because now we played Naoto's perspective. So we technically seen this from the outside in. Now we get to see it from their perspective. Okay. So how do the stories in Arena work? It's basically just character perspectives. So like you notice how Narukami isn't here at all? Because like he's busy doing something else. And then when you beat this story, you'd be like, yo, what was Narukami doing? Like, where was he? You play his story to find out where he was. Now, there are a few inconsistencies that I've seen. And my YouTube comments did, like, make sure to let me know in advance, too. Where they were like, yeah, keep in mind, there are a few, like, there are moments where it's like, things overlap. Things don't really make too much sense. There are plot holes. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's like you'll pretty much get the story. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, there are a few things that don't really make sense, but because then it's like, okay, if this character did this, that contradicts the other person's story because they did that. You know, just stuff like that. You know. But for the most part, it seems to make enough sense to where like we're experiencing the story and we're understanding things. So you know. Like, eventually, this is all, like, leading to everyone being in the announcement room and Labrys tweaking. That's pretty much where we are. That's kind of what we're like getting to. I extend my right hand and touch the screen of its biggest TV I can see. My fingers brush the glass screen, but although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. I push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and my forearms sink into it.
Amazing.
Rings of light spread from the contacts of my arm, rippling like water across a pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Some of the stories contradict just so you can get through the fights. Canon is basically a weird amalgamation of all of them. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you pretty much have to like pick and like you have to pick apart parts that are like, okay, yeah, this makes sense, then this would happen, then this would happen. But you know, I much prefer if they were just like, bro, just have a story where you like I would prefer if it was like the Tekken story where it's just completely linear, where it's like, hey, you fight as the people that are involved in the story at the time, you know what I mean? So like in the Tekken 8 story, you don't play as Jin the entire time, you know what I mean? You play as other people. Like for example, when Jin is busy doing something else but everyone's fighting Kazuya, you play as Reina, you know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. Like I much prefer fighting game stories like that where they're just linear instead of the different character perspectives. You do get, there are cool things about the character's perspective style of it, but I much prefer just linear storytelling where it's like, alright, cool, this is exactly what happened and that's the end of it. But you know, just choose one of the first four of the IT perspective, Naoto's, then one of the Shadow Ups to get the full story. Yeah, that's pretty much what you guys have made me do, so you know. I'm gonna touch you. What the? Bro, I be seeing that in TikTok comments a lot and I be thinking to myself, bro, what is wrong with people?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
Honestly, I prefer this sort of story specifically when there's a million people on the roster. I don't think there are enough people on this roster to do this, but you know, whatever. My sensor detects a sensation I've never felt before, but the knowledge your boy has already been recorded within me.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Huh. Sounds like fun.
Oh, here's gang! I hear a voice come from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru-san and I look toward it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape. It billows in the wind, looking just like a character in a Western movie. He's standing atop a mountain of trash, his arms crossed.
Is that
Aura farming!
Akihiko?
Aura farming with that bum-ass fit. He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he's a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student boxing champion in his school days and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He's also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Why she sounds so tired?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to you?
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Word, says the one who pulled up in a limousine. Mitsuru-san sighs in annoyance. Oh yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas and saw this morning. As a result, his appearance is slightly, no, very different from the last time I saw him. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seems to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko-san steps towards Mitsuru-san as if pressing
We're different from how we used to be.